Hi everyone, it's Vicky. I hope you're all doing well today. So I'm going to be showing you how I made this cute little Valentine with the lawn fawn sealed with a kiss little mini set, which is just adorable. You get the little seals and the mwah, and then obviously the nice little pun. And I'm going to be using a couple of distress oxides, and I've also cut out some borders as well in lots of different pretty papers because I was kind of half winging it, half knew what I wanted to do with this. So I'm just going to pop some paper underneath my cardstock, as I always do when I'm colouring with alcohol markers, and then I'm going to use the brown grey blends and the brown grey shades. So they will hopefully, she says, make a really nice comparison. I didn't want both of the seals to be the exact same colour. Obviously I wanted them both grey, but I didn't want them to be the same shade of grey because I thought that might be slightly too, can't think of the word, too bland isn't the word I'm looking for, but it's the closest one I can get my brain to think of right now. So yes, that's what we're going with. So I'm just putting the shade to what would be the outer sides of the image. So I'm pretending the light source is directly above the seals. So I'm just popping the darkest colour to the side and then blending slowly towards the tops of the heads on the inside there. So I've just got the other one of the pens out now, and I'm just going to do exactly the same but the opposite way around for this. So I'm just bringing that one in there, and slowly but surely I'm trying to get as much of it quite light as I can. I didn't want anything too dark. I wanted to keep them quite light because obviously it is a Valentine's card, so I wanted it to be quite nice and light and happy. So I'm going to cut those out with the corresponding dies. Ta-da! I love the magic of quickly doing TV or videos. So I originally got the tape out and showed you it because I was going to stick the frames down with the tape, but then I decided that I would use glue, and then I also wanted to try and put the frames just roughly where I was wanting them, ready for me to actually position everything. It was mainly just to work out exactly where I wanted the seals because I did want to do some blending just behind where I was putting the seals. So what I did was I took the bits off and moved them out of the way, and then I thought I'd bring the littlest one back in again just to gently with a pencil. And the reason this has taken so long is because I was trying to remember where on earth I'd put my pencils. Just do a little mark just so I know roughly where to blend out to, because obviously I didn't want to go past that inside frame. I kind of wanted to keep it just to that little frame. So you'll see there just my little pencil marks, and I will obviously rub those out later. So the plan was to blend with the lightest colour first I went in with just to get a base down, and then I used the darker one as well. So it is Tattered Rose and Worn Lipstick, the colour that I used for this. So I'm just pulling that in there and then put the darker one in the middle and then just blend them both out. I'm just trying to make sure I do fill up the space where that little rectangle is going to be. I did want to make sure there was plenty of colour and coverage. So I'm just going to blend those out as I go. So please bear with me. And I've noticed today that my screen doesn't seem to be wobbling too much, which is nice for a change. And I'm just going to bring the frame in a couple of times just to check exactly how it was looking. So there we go with that, and I can move them out of the way. Right, and then it's just a case of assembly. So I am going to bring my wet glue in and my frames, and that's also, if you're wondering what on earth that random grey bit is, it's actually my putty rubber. I got it from when I do my watercolouring. It's better on the cardstock. It doesn't take off the teeth of the card, so you don't lose the texture of the cardstock, which especially when you're watercolouring is important because it'll stop your watercolour and pooling out. So now that that is rubbed out, I can start popping all my little pieces in. So I'm going to start with this frame first. So bear with me. So I'm just, as you can see, these patterned papers are actually patterned on both sides. They're from a pad, or rather a stack of papers that I got, a little pack. I've had it years, I'm not going to lie. It was a Forever Friends not for friends, a Me to You Bear pack of really cute Valentines and love themed patterned papers. So I've popped that one on there, and I'm going to pop the next one in after that. Those of you who are eagle-eyed will notice that I've actually put this one in upside down. Obviously it was all cut at the same time from the same piece of paper, so theoretically they should all be the same way up, the little leafy pattern. However, I evidently didn't realise, and it wasn't until I was taking pictures of it after I'd finished that I realised I'd done it. However, I think it actually looks quite nice like that. It adds a little bit of extra interest and kind of makes it look slightly different. So I'm going to go with it. That was totally intentional. Exactly what I intended to do. Anyone that says otherwise is talking nonsense. So yeah. So I'm just going to pop the middle one in and just get that framed. So get that nicely centered in the middle and as straight as is humanly possible. And then all that's left to do is to stick down my cuties and my little moi. So there we go. I'm just going to get those pretty much exactly where I want them. And then just use my wet glue again. I didn't want to add too much dimension to these. I thought they looked quite nice. Just ever so slightly sat on top of the frame. So there they go in there. It's not been too complex a card, it's been a lot more assembly, but I think the results on it are absolutely cute as anything. Especially with the sentiment as well. I think the sentiment's sealed with a kiss. Oh, I do love a good pun, and Lawn Fawn are fantastic at their puns. Thank you very much, Lawn Fawn. I'm just popping an acrylic block on just to get that nicely flattened down there and make sure they stay in position. And I'm just going to bring out my mini Misty for this because it's only a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 sized card blank, so that fits into my mini Misty rather. I was originally thinking of popping the sentiment down underneath the seals, and then I was thinking above. I just couldn't decide, so I eventually, after much umming and ahhing, decided to pop it up to the top. So there we go. So I'm just going to line that up, and then I'm going to pick it up with the Dora Misty, and I'm using some black archival ink again from Ranger. This gives a really nice imprint when you're trying to get a really nice crisp black line. So just done a couple of presses of that just to make sure it's nice and firm, and then that is the card complete. I hope you've enjoyed this video. As always, thank you for watching, and if you'd like to subscribe, I'd appreciate it. Any likes and comments, again, also greatly appreciated. Take care, guys. Bye.